Hey, listeners, welcome back to the Building HVAC Science podcast. We're out here working hard to help create better, more knowledgeable HVAC and building performance technicians by doing our part, helping the two professions better understand each other, better work together, and we aim to have these contractors create happy customers in the homes and buildings they live and work in. Today's episode is a great one where we do mosh together HVAC and building science. In this episode, Eric and I get a chance to speak with Amanda Godward. She's founder of Ecotelligent Homes and Ecotelligence Software. It's the software part, which is really interesting, although her business journey is really terrific too and enviable. She shares this journey coming from roots as a mechanical engineer, which I share the same roots. Hers was in the auto industry, and she's become a passionate home performance contractor and software developer now. She started out, like a lot of us do, with Excel to do the calculations, creating an Excel monster according to her staff, and then streamlined it to provide customer reports that drive action. And this eventually evolves into a full-blown mobile and desktop app that's now saving contractors hours with each appointment. Ecotelligent is designed by a contractor for contractors. It supports fast and accurate energy audits, work orders, customizable good, better, best proposals, automated workflows, and a rich documentation via a mobile-friendly environment. Amanda tells us how her engineering background helped her embed best practices, consistency, and compliance into the platform, resulting in better customer outcomes and more efficient field operations. So from audit to install, Amanda's thoughtful approach and her personal joy in helping others shines through, really shone through the conversation. She underscores the value of consultative selling, real-time proposals, and how the right tool can empower contractors to fix more homes faster, all while delighting customers and the installation crews. Now, Amanda's offering a discount code which expires on June 30th, 2025 of BS HVAC to get half of your first month of service with her software, Ecotelligent. Get half off of that service. There's a link in the show notes, and it's ecotelligentsoftware.com is the website. I give her LinkedIn profile, her email address, and her home performance business. They're all listed, links in the show notes. So you can just hop on over to there and see if this is interesting for you to become a customer of Ecotelligent Software. There were some quotes in this episode. One of them was from Amanda, re-quoting Ross Trethewey, "Change is hard, but that's what makes it great." Amanda had another quote, "I don't know how cool this thing was until we started sharing it with the world." And a quote that I spoke, "Proposals don't save energy, action does." So let's get into this episode where Elk and I interview Amanda Godward and talk about consultative selling, meaning smart software in home performance.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Building HVAC Science podcast. Eric Kaiser here, Mr. Bill Spohn, the legend, right over there. And with us today, we've got someone really cool. I have not met her before, but I got introduced today. She's got a really cool product to talk to us about. We're going to learn a lot more about Amanda Godward from Ecotelligent Homes and Ecotelligent Software. Welcome to the show, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here, and I'm so excited to be talking to you.
We're excited to be talking to you too. It really captured my attention when Amy Belay introduced us and talked about the software you developed. And I've seen some tries at this before, and I'm thinking what you're going to tell us is this has been pretty successful, but it's been a road. There's been some realizations and some lessons learned along the way. But first, give us your background. What led you up to this juncture to be talking on a podcast?
Yeah, sure. I started my professional career as a mechanical engineer working in the auto industry. I've always been a numbers and process kind of person, but had a passion for the environment. So wasn't really exercising that passion in the auto industry. So in 2009, began to explore the green building space, and got linked up with a local architect who invited me out on a job site. And by chance or by luck or fate, it just so happened to be the day that they were completing the energy audit on the lead project. And I was hooked. I took a week off of work so I could go to Chicago because that was the closest training I could find at the time to become a certified energy auditor. And Ecotelligent Homes was born. I was doing energy audits as a side hustle while still working as a mechanical engineer. I quickly learned that my engineering, very detailed reports took a long time to make and overwhelmed the customers, to be honest. So it really didn't yield to them making any of the recommended improvements. Since, like I had said, the environmental side is really the motivator for me. And if we're not improving the homes, we're not helping the environment or helping the customer. So I started making a tool just Excel based to help speed up the data collection process and generate a proposal for the client. I don't have a sales background, so from the proposal side of things, I really approached it more like my background of presenting to management or executives, making it concise and simple with a clear conclusion and a direct ask. And that worked pretty well. In 2011, I made the jump and went to entrepreneurship for full time. And there's really nothing like having to earn your own paycheck that makes you focus on efficiencies and profitability. So I really honed in that Excel file and built in additional processes to help just improve time and efficiency. Thankfully, in 2012, I met our friend and awesome energy advocate, Amy Belay, and my late and great friend and mentor, Mike Rogers, when they came to town to do a contractor training. They talked about the numbers in the business side, which really resonated with me, but Mike also talked about consultative selling. And as a mentor, really helped me build that into the tool with asking questions directed to the customer and making the proposal focused on the customer. There's been a lot of realizations as I grew Ecotelligent Homes that I now see incorporated into Ecotelligence Software. And I'm sure we'll get to a lot of them, but the one I'll share here just real quick is that I quickly also became aware that not everyone knows how to use Excel very well, or some of the new hires maybe don't even know how to use computers. But what they do know is how to use a phone and apps. And I had looked at converting my Excel tool, which became a really big detailed thing with some really sweet macros. And I thought it was great. But my staff, as Ecotelligent Homes grew, affectionately referred to it as the Excel monster. So growing Ecotelligent Homes, it was just cost prohibitive to get it into an app form. And during 2020, when we had the pause for COVID, it allowed me and my loving and supportive husband, Tom, some time to afford to actually get to programming. So we started programming the tool, and eventually it became outside of our capacity and we started working with a developer. But in 2022, we launched the tool and we called it the app because we just made it originally for us at Ecotelligent Homes. So it was just the app. And it was a game changer. We are doing energy audits in an average of 4 hours and presenting clients with a proposal along with 3 recommended improvement packages, counting the good, better, best. Incorporating a lot of the wisdom from Mike Rogers in there, focusing on the client's priorities and concerns, incorporating the tax credits and rebates and all of that good stuff. And also seeing my teams absorb it and use it and getting those benefits within days of opening the tool. It was great. It was, like I said, a game changer.
I was going to ask, that 4 hours, is that from walking on the premises to leaving the premises, or?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So in 2024, as you saw on our website, one of my energy consultants was at HPC with me and talking with one of our friendly competitors from the other side of the state here in Michigan, and just commiserating about the fun of energy audits and in sales. And the other energy consultant was explaining how long it was taking him to complete an appointment from collecting data to presenting a proposal in days. And here we are doing it in hours. And so Brandon, my energy consultant, opened up his phone right there and showed him the tool. And he sent a text message to the owner and they became our first paid user. So big shout out to Better World Builders over in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And Ecotelligence Software was officially born. We couldn't just call it the app anymore. And then Amy came on to help, and we shared it with a few more contractors leading up to HPC this year, and then had a few meetings and presentations. And now I'm really happy to say that we're onboarding users from multiple states. And to get back to your point about the 4 hours, we reached out to Better World Builders shortly after they started using it, and they said they are saving hours on appointments. Tom, their consultant, said every bit of 5 hours they've dropped off of appointments now. And it's just been a big time save for them. And so I'm just so excited to hear how my tool is helping others fix more homes.
I would think that presenting the proposal and the options in the moment is very important to close rate. Can you speak to that?
Yes, I agree with that 100%. And a lot of other advocates from our industry push for that as well. I tried to build it into the Excel tool, our Excel monster, but really the software allows for so much automation to take place that you can create those 3 proposals and good, better, best. And while you're sitting at the kitchen table, you can modify them with the homeowner as they're saying, like, well, let's not do that this year. Let's save that for phase 2. Or by showing the best package, maybe you get them to just do the whole thing. Like you get lucky sometimes. But yeah, striking while the fire's hot. You just showed them on the thermal camera why little Johnny's room is so cold in the wintertime. And you've been asking questions about their priorities for Johnny's room. So now you can help them fix it right then and there.
It sounds like you have a very thoughtful approach to the energy audit. You want to walk us through some of the high points of that? Like you talked about showing them the thermal camera. That's not something everyone does. Sometimes they just say, I'll let you know when I'm done. But your approach sounds very friendly.
We try to be. They invited us into their home to hopefully solve a problem for them. And I think some of that goes back to that consultative selling approach where we have conversations with the homeowner about their goals. I think a little while ago, you guys had Silas
Hepner.
Thank you. He talked about that. I don't think he mentioned the term consultative selling, but it sounded like that's what he was doing. And we follow a similar approach. So if the homeowners are available and not on a Zoom meeting, then we say, hey, you got 10 minutes. We'll show you some of the highlights. And if they're not, we have those pictures uploaded right in the proposal that we're going to show them at the kitchen table. And so we can speak to them right in the proposal as well.
I'll let Eric talk in a minute, but I just have one more question. Or maybe just like a little side path. I'm also a mechanical engineer by training. And there's certain things I have to suppress about that background. Eric's laughing right now. Maybe this will be the clip that goes on social media. I have to suppress about my background of being overkill Bill for details and not getting the point across. It sounds like you had that going on with you, but how about on the flip side, what about your background in training and engineering and experience was beneficial to either your business and or your software?
Yeah, both. I think from consistency, so wanting our team members, as I grew Ecotelligent Homes, to be able to provide the homeowner the same experience, whether it was me in the house or a team member that was in the house, but also consistency in following industry best practices. So a good example I would say is like our blower door inspection. It's not just enter a CFM50 number. It's first you answer the question that says, is there asbestos in this house? Yes or no? And as long as you say no, then it prompts you to say, did you turn the furnace off? Did you turn the water heater off? Did you baseline your manometer? And after you do those things, then the box will appear for you to enter your CFM50 number. But it doesn't just ask for that. It also asks for you to take a picture of the manometer screen and then a picture of the blower door. So we can check that the rings that you have entered actually match up. And then finally, it gives a little friendly reminder that you can't save that inspection until you said, yep, I turned the furnace back on and the water heater back on. So those things are things you're trained to do, but it's super helpful when you're onboarding new employees to have that checklist because it gets them up to speed much faster. But it's also helpful for a seasoned energy consultant who's getting interrupted by maybe a very energetic homeowner with lots of questions. So it's just helpful to have those things built into the tool. And so they provide a consistent experience, but also industry best practices. So I would say that's one example.
Excellent. Go ahead, Eric.
I'm loving this because this sounds very much like a spreadsheet that I had built at one time when I was doing some home performance consulting for different people.
You had an Excel monster too.
I didn't use Excel at the time. I actually used Apple, but yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Apple numbers in Excel, they do a lot of the same things in that realm. So yes, I understand that. And Bill and I joke back and forth that we do tend to use spreadsheets for a lot of things. And I almost bought Bill a crazy Christmas sweater that said something about Excel. It was a joke about Excel and Christmas on it because I know of his proclivity for spreadsheets. It's kind of a joke in the company sometimes. But I'm really interested to go back to Ecotelligent Homes a little bit because I'm looking at your website and I see that you do energy audits, you do insulation, you do HVAC, as well as renewable energy and healthy home things. So you've really built kind of a whole package business here which makes me think that a lot of those things are going to transfer into the Ecotelligence software as well, or the app as we should just refer to it here.
It's formally now Ecotelligence Software. She's evolved, but yeah.
It's evolved, yeah. I like the app. I think that's just a cool name and it sticks in my head. But for the purposes of this conversation, anyhow, I'm really interested to know, can this software be used modularly for maybe HVAC contractors that haven't gone into doing whole home or looking at that whole home yet? Could they pick that up and then use this to grow farther or help them grow their process as they're walking into these houses?
Yeah, for sure. Our model at Ecotelligent Homes, we do energy audits and installs in-house, and we utilize the subcontractors for HVAC and renewables. So just to be clear about that, but we are doing the selling in the house. We have a great partnership with our subs. We have their pricing and information, so we're still quoting it in-house. And then our tool actually generates the work orders for subcontractors as well as my crews on staff. And it has that flexibility for the admin user of the tool to distinguish which one should go on which work order. So as the business grows and evolves, and maybe you start by subbing out insulation too, but as you grow and evolve, you can change those work orders and change the outputs of the tool to help fit your business model. I would also just say that we, with our great partnership and growth with our heating and cooling subs, have a fairly detailed input screen for heating and cooling. We have static pressure readings. We take measurements on plenum sizes and box sizes and take install notes about removing that wall to get the box in. And we have details for duct sealing, and we have some rough calculations to help with sizing. It's not a manual J. We rely on them to perform that in more detailed levels. But yeah, I would say the short answer is yes. And we use the tool not just for energy audits, but also Ecotelligence Software allows you to just complete the inspection if a homeowner says, hey, I only want my attic done and I want you to give me a quote for a furnace. Then just complete those 2 inspection forms, because it's designed to have the inspection completed, so you collect the data on the existing equipment or existing condition of the home. And then the second part is to recommend the improvement and spec it out right then and there while everything is still fresh and top of mind. Or hopefully before you've taken the drop cloth up from the attic in case you need to crawl back up there and get one more measurement that you forgot. So,
not that we've ever done that.
Yeah. I would also just say that as Ecotelligent Homes grew and evolved, and we brought crews on staff, because we didn't always have insulation crews on staff or abatement crews on staff, that really helped me add to the tool. And first, it was helping our energy auditors be faster and better. And then we were helping our install crews be better with better handoff of the information. And we talked about earlier how we have that material pick list where it's not just a work order that says square footage to be installed, but number of cellulose bags down to number of 2x4s. The crews really appreciate that information. But then it created a feedback loop where we saw, okay, we need to collect more information during our site visit, not just for the energy audit and not just for the proposal, but to help those crews as well. So like another good example I'd say is on our attic inspection, we have an input for attic hatch location, attic hatch length, and attic hatch width. Because it's tight, the guys need to know that, and our install crews need to accommodate for that. It's also become, this was amazing when I did a site visit shadow, and our supervisor who greeted the client said, hey, Ms. Smith, I see that the attic hatch is located in the linen closet on the second floor. Could you show me up to the linen closet so we can get started today? It also helps the homeowner know we can communicate it as a business and you're in good hands here. So the evolution of that has really helped the install crews and helped to collect the data in one visit at one time efficiently.
Yeah, you answered a lot of questions that I had right there, realistically.
Sorry, that was a really long answer, probably.
No, but it was a great answer because I'm just thinking about all the aspects of this, having worked in the HVAC field and tried to communicate as an installer or as a retrofit change out, somebody going into people's houses, and sometimes not getting good communication back from the person that was in the house and sold it. That really speaks to me personally. And to be able to get good, solid information about where things are located in the house. I could just go into all tons of details here and ask you questions, but I'm not going to do that because I will save some for when the customer talks to you about what works best for them. But my question is some of that customizable then for different areas? Because in different areas of the country, we have to do things. So are your supply lists somewhat customizable for the install crews and for what the salespeople are selling?
It's 100% customizable. Yeah. So originally the tool, when it was just the app, we'll say, when it was designed just for us at Ecotelligent Homes, I had it be built in with flexibility. We participate in quite a few different programs that'll throw in some random different inspections here or there, or some added improvements, whether it's a dryer vent or who knows. So we designed it to be flexible from that perspective. But I will say that when we onboarded Better World Builders as our first user and shared it with the rest of the world, we learned that we need to be even more customizable. So now we just released an update about a month and a half ago, a really large scale update that allows the admin user to input their own improvements. So title, description of that improvement, and costing. They can also edit all the rebate information that's plugged in for their rebates, because you get a phone call from your utility about a special that started yesterday. You want to make those updates now. And then it also allows them to change the order of the inspections, because when you open up the proposal app, they're listed in the order you should be completing them for an efficient approach to the house. So maybe you don't start in the attic, maybe you start somewhere else as an example. So you have the ability to change that. And it also allows the admin user ability to change the order that they'll show up on the work order and include detailed descriptions, if you so chose, down to like a full SOP for your install crews for each of those items.
Wow. That just blows me away because I've pretty much dreamed of somebody having this kind of software.
We've got it now. And honestly, I didn't know how cool of a thing we had until we started sharing it with the rest of the world. And I am very excited to see others really using it. And as soon as they start using it, to see those benefits of time save, happy clients making faster decisions, and crews seeing that material pick list and like getting excited. It's rewarding.
I can imagine. You said something about pictures in here too. Are those automatically, you go straight to a camera and you're taking those pictures while you're doing the whole process on a phone or on a tablet while you're in the house?
Yeah, you got it. So the tool is designed to work mobilely on your phones or tablets, or there's a desktop version as well. It's also designed to work offline. So you can be collecting data down in the depths of the basement and it'll just sync up once it has a connection. So you're not going to lose any of your inputs. And if you're using it on the mobile version, like I had mentioned, on the blower door, we have required pictures, but on the cooling inspection, you take a picture while you're outside, take a picture of the line set, take a picture of any obstacles outside. So there's inputs where you click on it and it just opens the camera on your phone and you snap it, and that picture will automatically go into the report if it was in a designated spot, or it will go into the photo gallery that's linked to that home. And when you generate the proposal, you can select which pictures go to the proposal, because you're also taking pictures that are intended more for the install crew. The homeowner doesn't necessarily need to see those in the proposal, so they get saved in the photo gallery. And then when you go to the work order and you're generating the work order with a few button clicks, one is selecting the pictures that you want and know will be helpful for the crews.
Nice. So what about thermal?
You're also able to sync up and upload your thermals too. So we just plug it into the computer and then use the desktop version, select the address, sync it up, and then you open it on your mobile app and they're right there to choose from to put in the proposal.
Very nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Thanks.
How does that work with like mobile thermal? And I'm probably getting way too in the weeds here, but I'm just thinking about like mobile thermal cameras where you have one either plugged in or one of the Wi-Fi versions where it just goes straight to your phone.
Yeah, you're not too far in the weeds. It's on my to-do list to check it out, but I don't have an answer yet. I'm happy to geek out on any of the other tools we can sync up with it. Bill and I were talking, and we've reached out to the folks at TrueFlow to see if we can start incorporating some of their stuff. We already have the static, so now maybe we just their flow readings. We're really excited to try to add more features. And that's also the fun part. As we're onboarding a lot of these great home performance contractors, they do inspections differently or want to add some things. So as they're adding and building customized improvements, we're learning from them too and can incorporate that and make the tool better for everyone.
At TrueTech, our core focus, our purpose, I'm reading this right off the document here, is helping technicians create better environments for people. And our niche, what we try to do best, is supplying HVAC and building performance products and best practices. So you're singing our song. That's why you're seeing all these smiles here,
Yeah, awesome.
because you're an augment to that, the best practices, and really a tool to unify this and move, like you said earlier, move customers to action, because proposals don't save energy, don't make you more comfortable, don't do anything for the environment, but action does. So I'm hoping this goes like wildfire, not for the sake of our podcast, but for the sake of you and for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Could you talk a little bit about if someone does say, hey, I want to get in touch, and talk about what the experience might be for onboarding a new contractor?
Yes, we've learned a lot of lessons on ways to improve the onboarding. That can be a hurdle. And especially if you're an established contractor that has some processes and things already built in, I get that. But there's also the theory of sunk cost. So if there's a tool that can make you better and quickly help you do that, like we like to think we're that tool. And change can be hard. You also just recently had Ross from This Old House on, and I know you guys joke sometimes about being a fanboy, but I will just be a fangirl real quick, because when he was on with you, he was talking about, yeah, change is hard, but that's what makes it great. And I was just like, yes, exactly. So thank you, Ross. So how we help people implement the tool and what we've learned is to really get them on and using the tool as quickly as possible so they can start realizing those benefits. So we offer 2 processes to help with the onboarding. And I guess I should back up and say, we've also learned to just help ease some of that concern. We offer a 90-day money-back guarantee. So if you follow the onboarding process and you're using our tool and it's not for you, then okay, we understand. But we also think that if you're following the onboarding process, it's going to be awesome and you're going to love it. We have 2 options for contractors. The first is for a fee. If they want to provide all of their information to us, we can put in the legwork for them and get it fully built out for them with all of their improvements already uploaded, costing, description, legal information for contracts, branding, all that good stuff. Or if they want to, they can do it themselves and the admin user will upload that. So we have a 3-part onboarding process where we coach them through at 3 separate meetings and then give them a bit of time in between to get some of their homework done. And of course, we're here if they run into any issues or roadblocks. So yeah, we have a few users doing both right now. And I don't know if we'll always necessarily do the 3-part coaching, but for now, it's great for us to learn where people are getting hung up so that we can help improve that onboarding process even more. So one of the first lessons learned was we have a template, so they can fill out the template for all of their various improvements and do one big bulk upload. So instead of clicking around in the tool and doing onesie-twosie uploads, we have a separate system they can do a one big bulk upload. That seems to be pretty helpful for folks as well. I'll also say that we're working with a contractor now. It's awesome. They're so diverse. So some of our contractors are new and just getting started and don't have a CRM system. So they're using our tool as part of a CRM to keep their clients organized. But our tool is designed to link through your CRM. So it pulls client information, address, utility providers directly from your CRM. And it's just designed to search by address. So a more established contractor that we're working with, they're having us do a full customized proposal for them. They have a proposal that they like to use that works for them, and that's awesome. Rock and roll. Let's fix more homes. So we're using our inputs to create that custom proposal for them. So if you don't have one, or if you want to just put your branding into our tool, that works, and that's great. Or we can build out a full customized solution for you.
That's an amazing amount of flexibility for a contractor. And I can see where that could also be confusing to some coming in. So is there like a question and answer process that you go to figure out what direction or to help new contractors figure out what direction they should go?
Honestly, it's more about your time and sure, cash flow. As a contractor who bootstrapped the growth of my company, if you don't have the money, you got to find the time sometimes or find the money. I get that. But it's also about, I think, the level of detail that you're already quoting and speccing. And if you have it organized, which most typically do, it's just a matter of moving the data over.
Got it. I just got to say, you're approaching this topic with such joy. Where is this emanating from? Please. And please share.
I am just really excited to be helping more contractors fix more homes, honestly. I get that it's a slog some days as a contractor, honestly. And to be able to help others, especially others that I know are fixing more than I'm fixing already and are growing and booming, if what I have can help them, that's awesome.
I love that. That is a fantastic approach to this. And there's been several groups that I've been part of that have stated when everything rises, all boats rise. When the tide rises, all boats rise. And I think that's really what you're doing here. You built a good tool for yourself, and then somebody else said, wow, that's awesome. We can use that. And you've turned it loose. And I hope it works out for a lot of people.
Yeah. We're talking about fangirls and fanboys. One of the people we are a fan of, Brian Orr, in terms of slogging through to improve, one of his phrases is, I don't have to do this. I get this. It's just a perception change is all it is. Sometimes. I know there's hard work in between. So got a great overview. I want to give you a chance to give a closing thought. But before that, what's the best way for someone to say, hey, I'm interested?
Yeah, go check out the website, ecotelligentsoftware.com. We're working on a video. Hopefully it'll be up by the time this goes. And they can, for sure, right now, go and sign up for a demo tool. So if they want to click around and see what it's about, they're welcome to go to the website and check out a demo. And that's the best way to reach us too. Or you're welcome to email me. We can include that in your links.
I'll put that in the show notes too.
Perfect.
Should we put a link to Ecotelligent Homes in there also?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Closing thoughts for our listeners.
First, thank you so much for hosting this great podcast and bringing the industry together. I'm honored to be here on your show and just appreciate the opportunity to spread the word about Ecotelligent Software. For the listeners, Ecotelligent Software is a proposal and install software platform made by me, a home performance contractor, to help you really streamline operations, boost productivity, and please visit the website and check it out. Let's fix more homes.
Fantastic. I'm going to summarize this conversation with one word, thoughtful. That's what I think of you right now. So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, folks, we'll give you back your time, but we'll have some links in the show notes. Please take a look at them. If this sounds like it could solve a problem for you or help you do a process better, Amanda's really got a handle on it. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, Amanda. We really appreciate it and have enjoyed learning.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for spending some time listening to this podcast with Amanda Godward, founder of Ecotelligent Homes and Ecotelligence Software. If you like what you heard today and haven't subscribed, please consider typing Building HVAC Science in the search bar of your favorite podcast app and like us, follow us, please. You can also ask Alexa, hey, play me Building HVAC Science. Boom, there you go. You can follow us on Facebook, or if you have any questions or want to suggest a topic or just reach out to us, marketing@truetechtools.com, TRUTECHTOOLS. The Building HVAC Science podcast is a production of True Tech Tools Limited. In full disclosure, I'm the owner of True Tech. The opinions expressed are those of my guests, my co-host, or myself, depending on who is speaking, of course. And in addition to Amanda's discount, you can always get a discount at True Tech Tools for the tools we sell, and that's TRUTECHTOOLS.com, True Tech Tools. And you can use the offer code HVACBS for your discount there. I want to thank you for following us, listening to us, and please share the podcast. We're always out here trying to help make the world a little bit better by doing the things we do. So thank you for listening, and we look forward to welcoming your ears back to the Building HVAC Science podcast in the very near future. Take care.